again. It's Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Steve Post here in our Hercules Tire Studios in Concord, North Carolina, joined as I am each and every week by Ashley Stremme in the Lethal Chassis Studios up in Pennsylvania. Hello, Ashley. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How about yourself, Steve?
I'm really good. Did I see that you've had to make some more room in the trophy cabinet after last week?
We did, yes. We went over to Bloomsburg for some IMCA modifieds, and we got to park beside some guy named Mark Smith.
Wow. How's Mark doing?
He didn't have a good night that night, unfortunately. He blew a right rear, but otherwise, Mark is doing very, very well.
Mark is just like the coolest guy. That is when you pull in the pit area and you pull next to Mark Smith, that's a good night, though. That's a good night because you just got a really solid stand-up dude next to you.
It's true. It's very true.
That is cool. That is cool. Last week on the show, we had Donnie Schatz, and he talked a little bit about coming out of his 2021 motorsports funk. It appears that he continues to do that with another win this past weekend.
Yeah, I know years ago we used to talk about the Wing Nation Juju. Maybe it's time to bring it back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's worked out well for him, that's for sure. So really cool. A lot of good things happening in the sprint car world and a lot of good things upcoming in the sprint car world. So can't wait to see what happens this fall as we're rolling through the 2021 season. Hey, one of the drivers that we're looking forward to, we've watched a lot this year on the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. He's fourth in the point standings, is Dylan Westbrook, the racer out of Canada, and he will join us here on Wing Nation. Before we get to that, though, let's take a look back. This was a dandy on Friday night. Up at Attica Raceway Park, Cole Macedo is leading. Young Trey Jacobs is coming in a hurry. Here's our good friend Brian Lisky with the call on Dirt Vision.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
White flag in the air, and here comes Trey Jacobs. Jacobs races to the inside of Cole Macedo in the 1 and 2. He can see him down the backstretch. Two more left-hand turns. Here comes Trey Jacobs to the inside of Macedo. Trey Jacobs out of turn 4 takes the win.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Def, the official def of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion. Performance. We are Team Dryden.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit in the Hercules Tire Studios here in Concord, North Carolina. And let's go to the Hercules Tire Hotline. Joining us after completing two-thirds of the season pretty solidly with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, Dylan Westbrook is on the line. Hello, Dylan. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Hello, how are you guys?
We're doing well. Kind of give us your assessment. I see you're up there in the top 5 in points. You picked up your career first ASCS National Tour win. Looks good to me. What's it look like to you?
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. We just for kind of a bunch of these tracks are like the first time I've ever been there, so it's pretty new. Kind of still getting used to the whole traveling thing on the road and everything. But yeah, actually really happy with how it's been going. Lately, been having a lot of success. So yeah, really happy. Had a little bit of bad luck, not really bad luck, but just stuff happening early on this season. Having a few wrecks would kind of set me back a little bit in point. But yeah, we've been coming back pretty good. Just kind of need everyone else to have a bad night or something, and we'd be right back up there in the points chase.
Dylan, that first ASCS win was also ended up being a milestone win for your Hills racing team, their 100th win. What does that mean to you? What did it mean to Miles, your car owner, and kind of the history behind that car and the drivers that he's had along the way?
Yeah, that was awesome. Even like just for me, just to finally get an ASCS win, kept on get a bunch of podiums, really close to it, and had to come eventually. So it felt really nice to finally make that happen. And then for it just fall on a 100th win for Hills Racing, it's really special to be a part of that.
What is it like to drive for a team owner like Miles, who is just so ingrained, so much into sprint car racing?
It's awesome. You definitely couldn't ask for a better team owner, that's for sure. Yeah, but he's always there, loves doing it, and whatever we need or that we think that would make us better, he's all for it. Then I know a bunch of like team owners there. If you're gonna have a bad night or something, they're kind of asking like, "Oh, like what happened? Like we kind of can't be doing that. We got to be doing better." But he understands, so you're not going to be winning every night. So it's awesome. Yeah, definitely could not ask for a better team owner.
With that being said, you know, last year was kind of your first year with the ASCS, kind of thrown off because of COVID. What's probably the biggest difference between last year and this year that you're finding out there on the tour?
Not really much different. Just kind of being out on the road a lot longer. Before, with stuff getting canceled, we weren't really gone all that long. But yeah, this year, just with being gone racing, actually getting out racing a lot more, a bunch of different tracks, and yeah, finally actually being able to be on the road doing the ASCS tour.
Ashley mentioned that you scored your career first ASCS National Tour win back a month or so back. It was July 28th at Caney Valley. You also had a first for you back on June 12th. You won the 360 race at Knoxville Raceway. What is it like for a sprint car racer to make that right turn and win at the right turn after the scales into victory lane? Explain that to our non-Knoxville fans. What's it like to make that turn into victory lane at Knoxville?
It's awesome. I don't even know how to explain it. When you go over the scales and just finally get through, so you pass tech and you won for sure, and make that turn out there onto their victory lane pad thing. It's awesome. Just to win a race there, it means a lot. Just it's the sprint, like kind of like the biggest sprint car like track out there. So definitely when you win that, like your name definitely gets out there. Everyone knows about it. It just felt awesome to go over there after not racing there a ton and get a win.
There is one thing that you will never forget about Knoxville, and that is for sure a win. But your home track, Ohsweken in Canada, you have 28 career wins there. You lead the winner list in the 360s. You're a three-time champion there. What's it mean, you know, to win at a place like Knoxville, but then to win at your home track like Ohsweken?
Yeah, to win to win back home, it's always fun to do that because always have a bunch of friends, family, and everything there. So definitely get to see everyone. And when I win, it just makes it that much more awesome just because everyone's there to see it. And then always a bunch of sponsors and everything, so they all get to come out and see it. But yeah, at the same time, Knoxville, just the best. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. Just the feeling you get when you win there, it's just different than everywhere else.
All right, more important than all of that, though, we could talk about Knoxville wins and Ohsweken wins. But do you go to the Burger Barn when you were back when you were racing at Ohsweken? Did you go to the Burger Barn on a regular basis?
Oh yeah, we were always going there. Pretty much worked on the car like Monday night and maybe some Wednesdays. So almost every time we get done working on the car, go over there, get some good food, and yeah.
I did there. I got to Ohsweken one time, got rained out. But before I got rained out, I did dinner at the Burger Barn, and that is a 2 thumbs up place, that's for sure. So glad you know what I was talking about when I asked about it for sure. Hey, Dylan, hang in there with us. Everyone else, stick around. We're gonna have more with Dylan Westbrook in just a moment.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honey Crisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey.
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy.
Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit. We're having a ball because Dylan Westbrook joins us on the Hercules Tire Hotline. And Dylan, before the break, we talked a lot about racing, and we'll continue to talk about that. But one of the topics that we've just wondered what's going on with is international travel. We've talked to James McFadden about back and forth to Australia along the way. How has this deal worked out for you being a Canadian to be able to race here stateside? How does that work out, and how have you been able to pull that off?
It's not easy. No, with even just getting the haulers across with Miles being a Native American, he was able to drive across the border and with the haulers and drop them off. Then we weren't allowed to drive across because of the COVID and everything, so we had to fly into Buffalo from Toronto, and then had to hop in a hauler and drive all the way down to Texas for our first race. So that's kind of a little bit of how we make it work.
So I'm assuming you don't get back to Canada much because of the logistics that we have in place right at the moment. So do you have a place here in the States that you kind of have a headquarters, or are you just fortunate enough to know enough people across the country that you're able to stop and have kind of a place to regroup?
Yeah, we've had like when we're up kind of in Texas area, we can always stop at a Sam's Place, get a nice shop and work out of there, or we're down at Indiana. Miles, he has a shop there, so kind of we got those two places covered, and kind of in the middle in Missouri, Garrett Williamson and Bryant Paver, they got a nice shop here, which is kind of works out good for us. It's kind of in the middle for the ASCS tour, so we actually end up coming back here a lot, and they really nice to us, give us a good shop to work in and out of and everything.
That is cool. You got to have those. Got to have those friends. So So Dylan, like, what is life on the road? Like, are you eating healthy? Do you eat terribly? Do you work out? What's the non-racing life like on the road?
A little bit of all that. Kind of all depends where you are. If you can grab a meal here or there, whenever, or always try to eat a bit healthy whenever you can, and in the downtime, always keep yourself busy, find stuff to do. I know sometimes you go fishing or golfing, travel around a little bit and see. So always try to keep yourself busy, and then there's always stuff to do in the car, working on the trailer, hauler, everything. There's definitely always something else to do.
So with that being said, when the tour's over for the season and you finally get to go home, what does the downtime, what does the winter months look like for you?
As soon as we get home, definitely start regrouping for next year, getting everything ready. And then when we're not working on the car, definitely do some snowmobiling, hanging out with a bunch of friends and family, and just seeing everyone again.
When you do your snowmobiling, are you one of those X Game Olympians that jumps all over everything, or are you more of a trail rider, or do you like lakes? What's your favorite kind of snowmobiling to do up there?
A little bit of both. I got two of them. One's kind of more for jumping and everything, then the other one's more for trails. So kind of depends where we're going and what we're doing. That depends what one I bring and what the plan is.
So one of the running jokes that we have with dirt racers, my husband always asks people, "Are you a farmer?" I heard that your family is in the farming business. Do you get to play around in the fields too when the crops come in, or are you just kind of more of a bystander?
Yeah, my grandma and grandpa, they farm, so whenever I go home, definitely helping them out in the field and everything. And yeah, I enjoy doing that. Definitely relaxing, kind of just hang out, drive the tractor around, do some carbon, and get to hang out with them a bunch when we're doing that also.
That sounds really, really cool. It really does sound good. Such a contrast from the crazy sprint car schedule. We kind of poked around a little bit, and I shot a note to your girlfriend, okay, to find out what else is going on, what else you got in, what you're into. She says you like to work on old trucks. Do you have a fixer-up project? Do you have an old truck? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, no, I got like a couple old Chevy pickups. One I'm working on right now, it's got like a 400 small block Chevy in it, and I just put a 671 blower on it, so should make a lot of power and be lots of fun to drive around.
I love it. Do you have like a dream car that you want to have in your collection someday?
Not really. I'm just got like a bunch of old pickup trucks, gonna mess around with them, make them go fast, have lifted one, lowered one, kind of bunch of stuff like that.
That was my question. I know some people like to restore to a natural place. some lift, some lower. So you do a little bit of all of that with your trucks.
Yeah, just easier to have one of everything than you don't have to have just one.
That's right. Neat
So
stuff.
is it like a rustic or like that rack rod, or are you like trying to restore them to their original beauty?
Kind of original, and then like the one is like pretty much all original, then lifted a bit, and then the other one's kind of all original, just painted different color, and then lowered with a big hole in the hood with a blower sticking out and everything like that.
I like that. Yeah, those things don't come from the factory that way, that's for sure. Finally, Dylan, to shift back to racing here, what's coming up here as we look into the fall months? The month of September is upon us. Continuing with the ASCS National Tour, there's a couple big races. I know that. Beyond that, is there anything else special planned for you as you roll through the final part of this year?
Pretty much just ASCS right now. I know that hopefully maybe find something for the World Finals and stuff like that, and a couple other races after the ASCS tour is over. So just gonna keep my ears open, seeing if I could find something for that. But as of right now, it's just the ASCS tour.
Fantastic stuff, that's for sure. The Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, and those of you watching here on MAV TV, you can, of course, see all of the racing here on MAV TV. Dylan, we are so glad you joined us. Great to hang out and catch up with you a little bit, and we wish you continued success through the balance of the year.
Yeah, thank you.
There we go. That's Dylan Westbrook joining us here on Wing Nation. Stay with us. Our Tweet Your Seat, Tweet of the Week, and a lap around the sprint car world are coming up.
Power isn't born. It's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain. And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
We're back here watching Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit, and it is time to Tweet Your Seat, Tweet of the Week. It comes from Bumstead. This little video is getting warmed up at the Stockton dirt track. The NARC 410 sprint cars just before hot laps. Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, it was. I appreciate that. I really do, because it's going to set us on our lap around the sprint car world. And turn number one is the fastest 4 days in motorsports, where that video came from and where so much good racing came from. I am telling you, I watched some of it. I watched all the highlights. I was up late one night and watched one of the features. The racing was phenomenal out there. It was the NARC King of the West series, their very own version of a speed week, a mini speed week, if you will. 4 nights. It was supposed to be 5, but Placerville, because they're under the fire situation, the fire camp, they had to bail on Wednesday night. But it started Thursday night at Merced. Justin Sanders picked up the win. Friday night at Ocean, it was Mitchell Facento. Dominic Scelzi grabbed the win on Saturday night at Stockton, and they wrapped it up Sunday night at Petaluma, and it was Justin Sanders back in victory lane.
Yeah, and he's actually has 2 wins driving for Kevin Kozlowski with Paul Silva on the wrenches. Pretty interesting fact there.
Yeah, it was. It was a white number 57, so it was like he's in Larson's car. Well, he wasn't, but he had Larson's crew chief. And when we got done with the championship there, it was Dominic Scelzi, very, very consistent. Second, third, first, and third. And he actually threw a 360 race in and finished second or third in that one along the way. So really, really neat stuff. The fastest 4 day in motorsports. That's turn number 1. Now let's get into turn number 2 and talk about a first-time 410 winner. Jack Dover is one of those guys. In fact, I was shocked that when I read it was his first 410 win. He has more than 50 wins, 5 ASCS National Tour wins. He's a 2-time Midwest champion on the ASCS Tour. 34 MSTS series. That's a 360 touring series. He's a 2019 champion. But Ashley, all of that 360 success, Sunday night, he finally knocked down the first 410 win.
Yes, Venosa Sprint Speedway, and pretty incredible people he beat. Mark Dobmeyer and Justin Henderson. So I hope he's not only excited about that win, but pretty proud of it, because those are 2 tough guys too.
Really are. Jack Dover, a great, great racer, and good to see him climbing the ladder and getting further and further ahead. Just another one of those young, talented racers that we see growing his career. Let's head down the backstretch Into turn number 3, and we had a first-time champion winner. Well, our first champion. Okay, when we get to the fall of the year, Ashley, you know this, we always start to look at who wins championships, and I think it's a sad thing that Knoxville is always first because it means the year is over or getting close to over. But it is kind of cool if you're Davey Heskin. Davey Heskin, a 32-year-old racer, third-generation racer from Mitchell, Minnesota, became a first-time champion at Knoxville Raceway this year.
Indeed, and he's got an incredible list. He was very consistent this year, which we talk to these guys all the time, and yeah, they want to win, but the consistency is what wins the points races. The 7 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and on Saturday for the championship, he came from 14th to 4th to win the championship.
And he's been knocking on the door on this thing. When I was looking at his numbers, the last 6 seasons, his points finishing positions, 6th, 7th, 4th, 8th, 6th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 2nd, and 8th. So Davey Heskin's been knocking on the door. He's a 5-time winner at Knoxville. I think 4 of them are in 410s, one's in 360. And finally, he was able to knock the door down. And I saw a video of his championship celebration. Looked like the family and friends had a great time. So congratulations to Davey Heskin, our champion at Knoxville Raceway. That's turn number 3. Turn number 4, the World of Outlaws for the first time in 2 years are headed west. Ashley, this weekend, they're at the Sage Fruit Skagit Nationals. It's Friday through Sunday up at Skagit Speedway. They're not done on the West Coast when they get done this weekend, though.
No, because then they go to Monday, Grays Harbor and Elma, Washington. And then next week starts Gold Cup. It's Race of Champions at Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, California.
Friday, September 17th, they're at Peter Murphy's Hanford, Kings Speedway in Hanford for the Kings Outlaw Shootout, and their West Coast tour, fingers crossed, ends on the 18th of September, the 49ers Gold Rush Classic at Placerville. Again, Placerville is that track that right now is a fire camp out in Northern California as they deal with the wildfires. So West Coast swing ongoing for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Can't wait to see how the West Coasters stack up against the Outlaws. And there you have it, our lap around the sprint car world. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
I'm not ready yet. Come on. All right, I'm ready now.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
I just stopped by to pick up my sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
Yeah, okay.
This is what it looks like when you do it.
Ta-da!
Take a deep breath, count to 5. It's like running across a rhythm section at a motocross track.
Mine was perfect.
Wing Nation continuing on here. We're presented by Sage Fruit. I'm in the Hercules Tire Studios. Ashley joins us from up in Pennsylvania at the Lethal Chassis Studios, not too far down the road from the Speed Palace. And Ashley, not only does the Speed Palace racetrack get busy, but the entire Juniata County Fairgrounds get busy as well. You have got to be like a kid a day or two before Christmas.
You know it. It's fair. You know, we're already planning what we're going to eat. It starts today. I already know what I'm having for lunch. I'm having for dinner tonight. All week long. It's going to be awesome. And a whole lot of freaking racing. 5 races in 8 nights. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Plus, you know, demolition derbies, all the other good stuff that comes along with the county fair.
All right. So you've already talked about it, but now, so the spot to go, because they've already posted on all of okay, this is how big the Juniata County Fair is, okay? On all of the sprint car pages, they're sharing the Lutheran Church stand menu.
I've got to admit, nothing to that extent, because, you know, it's your full course, like Thanksgiving meal. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, I do love the corn at Knoxville, at Cattleman's. but nothing reaches the Lutheran Church stand.
If you are not, if you're a jealous type, don't be following anybody that's up there, because they're going to wear us out with pictures from the fair and the Speed Palace as they all build up to the Tuscarora 50. Thanks to Dylan Westbrook for joining us here on the show. More important than all of that, though, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation.